Have you ever opened your investing app, looked at your portfolio, and thought, wait, how am I down 18% when the market is doing great? Or maybe you bought a stock because everyone on TikTok said it was the next big thing, watched it shoot up 30% in a week, and then panic sold the moment it dipped 5%. And now you're sitting there thinking, maybe investing just isn't for me. Look, if that's you, that's literally most people. And the crazy part? It's not because you're bad at math. It's because you're human. My name is Josh, and I spend way too much time thinking about why normal, smart people make bad financial decisions with their money. If you're someone who feels like you're trying to invest the right way, but still ends up second-guessing every move, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Today we're breaking down the most common investing mistakes new investors make, not just the math behind them, but the psychology behind them. Because here's the thing. Investing is not a math problem. It's a behavior problem. And once you understand that, everything changes. Mistake number 1. Trying to get rich quickly. Let's start with the big one. You open YouTube. You see someone who turned $5,000 into $250,000. You see screenshots of 300% gains. You see crypto coins with rocket emojis. And you think, I just need one good pick. Here's what most people don't realize. According to data from DALBAR's annual investor behavior study, the average investor underperforms the market by several percentage points per year, not because they choose bad investments, but because they try to time them. Let me show you what that means with simple math. If you invest $10,000 and earn the historical average return of the S&P 500, roughly 10% annually, after 30 years, that becomes $10,000, about $174,000. But if you panic, jump in and out, and your return drops to 6% annually, that same $10,000 becomes about $57,000. That's a $117,000 difference. From behavior, not intelligence. Look, chasing quick gains feels logical. It feels proactive. It feels smart. But investing rewards patience more than effort. This is where it gets really interesting. The stock market historically returns around 10% annually, but missing just the 10 best days over 20 years can cut your returns nearly in half. And those best days? They often happen right after the worst days. So when you sell in fear, you're usually locking in losses and missing recovery. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but what if I just get in early on the next big thing? That's what everyone thinks. And that's why bubbles happen. Mistake number 2. Confusing investing with gambling. Let's challenge something early. If your investing strategy depends on luck, it's not investing, it's gambling. Look, buying a diversified index fund and holding it for 20 years, that's investing. Putting your entire savings into one meme stock because it's trending, that's speculation. There's nothing wrong with speculation, as long as you know that's what it is. Picking winners consistently is extremely hard. Most long-term growth comes from broad market exposure, not hero picks. Here's a relatable analogy. If you go to a casino and put all your money on one number, you might win big. But if you buy the casino, meaning you invest in the entire market, over time, the odds shift in your favor. New investors want the jackpot. Experienced investors want the system. And those are two very different mindsets. Mistake number 3. Investing without an emergency fund. This one is boring. And that's why people skip it. But this mistake destroys more portfolios than bad stock picks. Let's say you invest $5,000. 3 months later, your car breaks down. Repair cost? $2,800. You don't have cash saved. So what do? You sell investments, maybe at a loss. Now you've locked in that loss permanently. Here's what most people don't realize. Your emergency fund isn't just for emergencies. It protects your investments from being interrupted. Financial planners typically recommend 3 to 6 months of expenses saved in cash. If your monthly expenses are $2,500, that means $7,500 to $15,000 set aside. That sounds like a lot. But compare that to what happens without it. Without a buffer, you turn temporary problems into permanent financial damage. Investing works best when time is uninterrupted. Your emergency fund buys you time. Mistake number 4, overestimating your risk tolerance. Everyone says they can handle volatility until it actually happens. In 2020, the market dropped over 30% in a matter of weeks. Imagine you had $20,000 invested. Suddenly it's worth $14,000. That's not theoretical. That's emotional. Here's the psychological trap. When markets are rising, we think in percentages. When markets are falling, we think in dollars. A 30% drop sounds manageable. Losing $6,000 feels painful. So here's what you do. Before investing, ask yourself, if this dropped 30%, would I sell? If the honest answer is yes, you're investing too aggressively. Adjust your asset allocation so you can sleep at night. Because the best portfolio is the one you can stick with. Mistake number 5, not understanding compound interest. Here's where it gets exciting. Compound interest is the closest thing to financial magic we have. But most people underestimate it. Let's say you invest $300 per month starting at age 25, earning 8% annually. By age 65, that's about $1 million. But if you wait until age 35 to start, same $300 per month, you end up with about $450,000. That 10-year delay costs you more than $500,000. Same contribution, same return, less time. Time is the most powerful asset new investors have. And the tragedy? Young investors think they don't have enough money to start. Older investors wish they had started when they felt broke. The math rewards consistency. The psychology makes us procrastinate. Mistake number 6, letting emotions drive decisions. Look, here's the truth. Most investing mistakes happen in moments of emotion. Greed, fear, envy, regret. You see your friend double their money in crypto. You feel behind. You buy in late. It crashes. Now you feel stupid. So you sell. And promise never to invest again. Here's what most people don't realize. The market transfers money from the impatient to the patient. It's not about intelligence. It's about emotional control. This is where it gets really interesting. Professional investors use systems, automatic investing, rebalancing schedules, diversification rules, specifically to remove emotion. You can do the same. Set up automatic monthly contributions. Choose a diversified portfolio. Rebalance once a year. And then, this is the hard part. Don't touch it. Automation beats willpower. Mistake number 7, ignoring fees. This one sounds small. It's not. Let's say you invest $100,000 for 30 years earning 8% annually. With no fees, you'd have about $1,006,000. Now subtract a 1% annual fee. Your return becomes 7%. After 30 years, you'd have about $761,000. That 1% fee cost you roughly $245,000 for doing nothing different. Low-cost index funds often charge expense ratios below 0.1%. Actively managed funds can charge 1% or more. Fees are silent wealth killers. And because they are small percentages, people ignore them. Don't. Mistake number 8, trying to time the market. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but I'll just wait until the market drops before I invest. Sounds logical. Here's the problem. Nobody consistently knows when that drop will happen. Even professional fund managers struggle to time markets effectively. Let's say you wait for a crash that doesn't come. Meanwhile, the market rises 12% that year. You miss gains waiting for a dip. Now prices are higher. You feel even more hesitant. This cycle repeats. Instead, consider dollar-cost averaging. Investing a fixed amount regularly regardless of market conditions. When prices are high, you buy fewer shares. When prices are low, you buy more shares. Over time, you smooth out volatility. It's not flashy, but it works. Action plan. What to do instead. Let's simplify this. If you're new to investing, here's a basic framework. 1. Build 3 to 6 months of expenses in cash. 2. Eliminate high-interest debt. 3. Invest consistently in low-cost diversified index funds. 4. Automate contributions. 5. Rebalance once per year. 6. Increase contributions as income rises. 7. Ignore daily market noise. That's it. It's not complicated. It's just hard to stick to. Look, the biggest investing mistake isn't picking the wrong stock. It's not starting at all. The market doesn't reward perfection. It rewards participation. Every wealthy investor you admire, they made mistakes. The difference is they stayed in the game. So if you've made some of these mistakes, good. You're normal. Now you're informed. And informed investors make better decisions. If this helped you rethink how you approach investing, hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments. What investing mistake have you made, and what are you doing differently now? Because your future self is watching what you do today. And trust me, they are hoping you stay consistent.